is the first thing you want to do is take action because you think action is going to get you where you want to go. Well, that's not necessarily the truth. And if you want to move forward exponentially, stick with us today because we're going to show you how.
Hey, I'm Sally, and this is my big sister Dana. And we all want change in our life. If you're here, it's because you're ready to move into a new stage. And Dana, like you just said, we typically think, okay, I'm here, I want to be here. What are the action steps to get me from point
Action.
A to B? Right?
It's all about action, right? We are
Yeah.
taught to be these beings of action, which we have nothing against action. Do not get us
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, because it's important. I mean, it's necessary.
It's
But,
necessary. But
but,
if you start it's kind of the cart before the horse
yeah,
situation. If you
yeah.
just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna take action," and you don't deal with some steps, some laying foundation inside first that you explained to me the other day, and I was just, like, blowing my mind. So I know it's
Okay.
gonna blow everybody else's mind. So let's get
Well,
into it. So let's talk about first, we're expanding, like, you're in this place where you're expanding your life. You are ready to go. You're over 50 or getting there and you are, pivoting, doing something new, maybe doubling down on your dream already. Okay, how do you expand that from the inside out?
Well, I don't know this is gonna blow your mind like Dana said,
It's
but
gonna
to me
blow wait, it's gonna
to
blow your mind.
no, but I thought it was a really good metaphor that just kinda came to me. I've got this tiny little light bulb that's trying to power my life, and I wanna create this great big house. Well, that little light bulb isn't gonna do it. So what I need a great big generator, a power plant of some sort to generate this great big life that I want. The first step is not just to take the action, but how do I increase my power plant? What do I do so that energy isn't just leaking out of me, leaving me drained and with this much power? What do I need to do? And it's so important. It's like this essential step that nobody talks about to increase my personal power so that then that is the engine behind this big life that I'm going toward.
So is when we say power plant, we're talking about our internal energy, right? The energy that we are, that we put out in the world, that you can feel it. When you're in an energy that feels empowered, whew, it's right. You can feel it in your chest. You can feel it in your body. It feels good. You feel alive. And the more we got of that, the more we have the resources to power a bigger life.
Yes, and this step is the most important one because without that additional power, we're going to stay stuck with like if we've got this much power, this is going to be what we are internally and this is what our life's going to be externally. So we want to if when we increase this, we naturally can increase our life. And that is what is something that usually people just skip the step, and that's why we call it a secret step, because it's just pretty much, undiscussed.
Undiscussed. It's like, well, how are
Is
you
that a
going to do
word?
that?
Is
It's
undiscussed a word?
undiscussed. It's a
Okay.
word.
Okay.
It's a word. Look, you've got a little thumbs up happening on your video.
I
Yes,
don't
it
know
is a
why.
word. But when we okay, so go back, think about this energy. So your energy is what's going to determine everything that happens in your life. We believe that really strongly. So either your energy is leaking or your energy is growing. And as we lose energy, obviously it's like I feel like it's like we have we're Swiss cheese, right? And just the energy just kind of goes everywhere. And these energy leaks can happen in a couple of different ways, internally or externally.
Yeah, and externally are I can tell when I'm in a situation where things outside of me are pulling my energy away from me, like when I'm watching, the news, which is typically pretty negative, or when I just am doing things that are mindless, like sometimes scrolling or, on social media, and you realize that this isn't really benefiting me anyway. It's just kind of draining my energy. Or sometimes when I'm around people that drain my energy that are,
Yes.
gossiping or just people that are kind of toxic, you just realize they're not increasing our energy in any way. That all of those kind of things can really they can pull the energy away from us, and we wanna be aware of that.
But there's internal ones too. So think about all your beliefs, your emotions. Are you a worrier? If you're worrying, that's a big energy leak, or being a victim. And that is one of my big pet peeves because I know what that feels like. I know what indulging in that energy does to your life, and it does nothing good. It is a massive energy leak. And sometimes we think
Mhm.
we have a right to our those leaks, like victimhood, worry. They just seem like, oh yeah, of course that's what I'm going to do in this situation. But it is depleting you of everything you need to live the bigger life. It's completely counterproductive. So we want to be really conscious of where we're draining that energy so we can plug those leaks because once we plug them, then we have a chance to actually move forward in these desires, this desired reality that we say is important to us.
It is, but it can be tricky, as we know, because you can end up in an external environment that you can just get, like, drawn into it without being aware. We've all been there. And we can also be drawn into internal things inside of us that drain us. Like I had an experience the other night. I'd been out, with people socially, and I laid in bed that night and I realized that I was in an internal energy drain by worrying, like you said, with thoughts of was I too much? What did people think of me? All of that. And I was giving energy to that instead of saying, drop it. That's not something, a rabbit hole I want to go down. And I'm going to lay here. I'm going to have some deep breaths. I'm going to calm my system down and I'm going to go to sleep because, that there's no reason to let those thoughts drain us when that's their only purpose
Yeah,
is
but
to do that.
think
Yeah.
about how early, especially as women, we learn the too much thing.
Yeah.
Right? Was I too much? Did I say the wrong thing? All of that kind of stuff that we do and really just does drain all of our energy. So we want to be aware of that for sure.
Yeah.
But I I know that we have learned that the number one way to shore up energy leaks and to build a bigger power plant. I love this. I love the metaphor. Is one thing.
Well, and that is we have to do something that changes our energy, and that is practices. We have to practice. And before practices even start, there has to be some awareness. Like I said, when I was laying in bed, I have to be somewhat aware, like, oh, this is happening. A little bit of distance between me and, the thought or the whatever I'm engaged in. But that really ties into the first practice that we're going to talk about. And there's only two that we're really going to bring up today. But in that the first one, and we've all heard it, is meditation. And meditation can be a formal practice, and actually, we both highly recommend it, of sitting down, of getting quiet, of bringing our power back by being calm and not being distracted by external or internal things. But meditation can also be when you take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute of taking, some deep breaths and just getting centered in ourselves and questioning, is this something I need to worry about? Or, and looking internally and slowing it all down. Because when we do that, we are literally bringing energy back in.
We
We're,
are.
we're, we're containing it and instead of it all leaking out. So highly recommend, there's so many different ways to meditate. And if you just want to simply take some quiet, deep breath, that is a great first way to start with it. And we'll do more videos and do some meditation practices.
Can
But
I
that's
tell
all
you
we're
my
yeah,
easy one that I do
yeah,
5 days a week because I know
yeah,
myself well enough to know that if I have to do something every day, I won't do it.
yeah,
And you have to also know who you are.
yeah.
And I know that if I every weekday I do a 10-minute meditation where I breathe in for 5 beats. At the
Mhm.
top of that beat, I hold it and I say either be here or I say thank you. And then I let it out for 6 beats, and I hold it there, and that's all I do, and I make it really simple because, there are all kinds of fancy ways to meditate, but if I do that, it really sets me up for the day, and I feel like I have kind of plugged if I plug my phone charger in, I feel
Mhm.
like I have plugged myself in for 10 minutes, and it gives me that boost, for the day.
Yeah, and it is very powerful, highly recommend it. But we're gonna share just 2, like I said, with you today. And what's the other one, Dana?
Well, no, there's another one too, you said, and I wanna add this because I think you're
Okay.
about being in nature, because that's an
Oh,
easy thing for people, and it really
okay.
makes a difference.
Well, that's 3 then, never mind. But, yeah, I live out in nature, out in the country, and let me tell you, to go out, to be quiet, not be on my phone, not be, doing anything that's distracting me, but looking around, being with the trees, being with the clouds, the sky, and it just refreshes me. It feeds me, it brings energy back in, so that is highly recommend that one. I do every day. I get out in nature if I possibly can.
Do you know guess what? In cities, we actually have skies and trees too.
I don't believe you.
I mean, I live very close to the largest urban park in the country. I mean, there's amazing the green places you can find in cities.
If you can even take your shoes off and put your feet in the grass,
Do
that is
that.
something that, yeah, it can really give you some energy. So,
Yeah.
highly recommend it. Okay, so
Yeah.
sorry, I was gonna skip that one altogether. So,
I didn't wanna skip it because I think it's a good one. I think it's a good
yeah,
and easy one
it's
for somebody who doesn't like, "I don't know how to meditate. I don't know how
yeah,
to do any of this stuff yet." Take a little
yeah,
walk in some nature and,
yeah.
bring that in. All right, the other one we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna do this thing called tapping. I have been tapping with people, for, what, a decade. Tapping is a healing modality where you tap gently on different, meridian points on your body, mostly on your face and upper body, that help release stuck energy, that help us calm down, especially if we're in fight or flight. It will reduce that fight or flight cortisol energy. I use tapping for so many things, for calming, of course, all of those kinds of things, but also just to, um, release certain belief systems that aren't serving us. And also I use affirmation tapping to tap in new ideas that I want to strengthen. So tapping is going to be something that we're going to bring to the channel, because I believe in it. I think you do too, but
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
I know that tapping every day has absolutely changed my life without doubt. That nothing that I've been able to accomplish and do, and experience, over 50 would not have happened without tapping.
And I think more and more people, I think, maybe have heard or seen tapping. I know when I use it, and sometimes I resist it because it's gonna tie segue right into what I'm about to talk about, but when I use it, I immediately feel calm, and I feel
Yeah,
my energy coming back to me.
yeah,
But the tricky thing is we will do anything oftentimes to not do the practice,
yeah,
to
yeah,
avoid it.
absolutely.
Yeah, so just know that going into this, that our logical mind does not want us to change because we see as human beings, we're wired for survival. We're wired to stay the same. And so when we start to do something new that will change us, it definitely will change us. These
Oh,
practices, right?
oh, let me tell y'all,
Absolutely.
if you're feeling stuck, if you have something that you just don't think you can navigate or get over, especially
Mhm.
emotionally, right? Or feeling like, I can't get this, or this is out of reach, or this isn't possible. I know for a fact that tapping can rewire how we think about our lives and how we move forward. And therefore, it helps us to be able to receive aligned action, like receive the call, like, oh, you can do this now, and then do it.
Well, it is. Well, what I was saying is exactly that. That it is about bringing all that. You're building your energy. You're bringing energy in when you do this, which will change your life because you're increasing that power plant. But what will happen is our logical mind will say, "I don't have time. This doesn't work. It looks silly. It'll take too long. Well, I
Yeah,
won't
I
even
don't have
change
time for
it.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
whatever.
won't even
Yeah,
change anyway. Blah blah. It'll. Our logical mind will tell us all of that, and we'll buy it
yeah,
unless we know that it's coming, and I'm telling you it's coming.
yeah,
Um, and we know that no, I want to increase my personal power. I want to build a bigger me so that I can build a bigger life, a bigger reality, a bigger dream. And this step absolutely will do that. If we increase our own personal power, our life will naturally outflow from that. And that's why it's so important, and it will take the stress off of taking that next step because we'll
yeah,
be more aligned with taking it.
right, yeah. All right, so here we can give you a couple takeaways today. One is get quiet and be aware of where your energy is going, right? Do you have toxic people around you? Like what's going on? Like what's happening in your world? Where are you a worrier? Just make note, pay attention. Like
And
where is it going?
it's really either coming in or going out. It's that simple. It
Yeah.
either is feeling enlivening and good, or it feels like it's draining you and is bad. I mean, it's really pretty simple.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And tapping. We want to
yeah.
introduce you to tapping today.
Mhm.
So look at the next video right after this if you want to like have a bonus video and come with us and learn a tool that is going to maybe be the tool that you love so much that it will be the one that ends up taking you really where you want to go. And today we're going to do a tap on releasing stress and toxic people because that's such an important thing to do. It's just foundational that we gotta move that energy leak out to be able to start shoring ourselves up and building that bigger power plant, like you said.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that, Dana. This is good stuff because it is the secret sauce to how we begin to make the big changes in our life.
All right, so join us for this
Mhm.
practice. We'll see you in the next video, and we'll see you next time.